Washington is kicking off to Oklahoma State, and Jeff Jager has teed the ball at the hash mark on the left side. Bobby Riley is center deep. Jager's kick. Sailing. Across the inline. Touchback first intended at the 20-yard line. Oklahoma State trails by 7 points. It's 17-10, Washington leading. Here are the first half stats.
That yards rushing, look at that, the Cowboys 146. 145 yards of those is Thurman Thomas on 21 carries. He's headed for a record-setting day, and really the difference is the passing. Millen is 10 out of 17, 130 yards, and really the difference of this ball game, as we talked about, was that punt down at the 1 and that punt return by Ron Miles.
Ronnie Williams is the quarterback. Thurman Thomas the tailback. Will Clements is the up back in the I formation. Wide receivers left and right. Thomas gets the football, jukes out to the left side, and gets almost 5 yards on the play. It'll be second and about 5 near the 25-yard line.
5 yards.
It was Ron Hadley on the tackle along with Ron Miles. Pat Jones now having donned the jacket. It's getting a little crisp since the sun has gone down here in Seattle. Paul Horning's getting a little acclimated to the weather. He spent the week here, as a matter of fact, not actually here, in his territory.
I tell you, I loved it, too. It's beautiful out here. Golf courses were nice.
Thomas again. This time he takes a loss. This time it was Ron Hadley from Boise, Idaho, in there to make the stop.
He didn't even have a chance to get back the line of scrimmage that time. Got up a little slowly. We'll take another end zone shot of this. Out of the eye, he gets hit here. You see blocking broke down. Reggie Rogers came from the offside to make the stop up high, and I think that's where you're going to have to tackle Mr. Thomas, Lindsey. You got to hit him up high.
Third and about 7 at the 23-yard line. Big third down play here for the Cowboys. Williams got it up just short of the 30-yard line. Not enough for the first. Kenneth Brown made the catch. He from Midland, Texas. It'll be 4th and 1.
Well, he went to his big tight end over the middle. They needed 6. He only got 5.
Rich Thompson comes onto the field now to do the kicking. Ron Miles is dropping back.
Poor pattern that time by the tight end. He should have gone a little bit deeper, Lindsey.
Rich Thompson back in punt formation.
Thompson waits for the snap. Miles moves up. Fair catch, and he makes it at the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. It is the Huskies 17, the Cowboys 10. We'll be back in just a moment. The Huskies have the ball 1st and 10, just short of the 38-yard line. Tight end motion across. Millen is the quarterback. Millen with the football. Rolls out. And it is intercepted on the deflection at the 40-yard line. Taken by Mike Hudson. Mike Hudson has the football, number 10. So the Cowboys get it in Washington territory.
Well, what a great interception that time by Mike Hudson. He makes the interception after the deflection. Watch this, after play action, not too good a fake. Millen stands in the pocket. Now he's going to be forced out, Lindsey, and he makes a good pitch here. Watch this, it goes in and out of the hands of David Toy, and very alertly, a great interception by number 10, Mike Hudson.
Can the Cowboys move it? They trail by 7 points. We're in the third quarter. Williams is the quarterback. Gives it to Thomas. Thomas loses a yard to the 41-yard line, and it was David Rill. Second down, 11 yards to go.
Well, maybe they weren't keying on Mr. Thomas in the first half, but they're sure putting all their linebackers, and they head him right towards number 34, Thurman Thomas. 148 yards in the first half, and I'm sure that Don James and his defensive coordinator were talking a little something defensively how to stop this young man.
Thomas and Simmons in the I formation for Williams. Williams with the ball, rolling and looking and throwing. Incomplete. Intended for Lynn Beck, number 21, from Blanchard, Oklahoma. It's 3rd and 11 at the 41. Here's the offense now. It is Ronnie Williams, Thurman Thomas, and Will Timmons in the I, and then Bobby Riley and Lynn Beck are the wide receivers, and the tight end is Dillard, and those are the interior offensive linemen there.
Make some noise, Doc, man.
Williams has had a tough time in his last 7 or 8 passes, Lindsey. This fine sophomore's got the good, strong arm. He can complete a couple passes. He's going to get confidence throwing the football. He's a better athlete than this.
3rd and 11. Out into the flat. Thomas moves it up to the 36-yard line. Thurman Thomas, the receiver. David Rill made the tackle. Gain of 5 on the play, but it's going to be 4th and 6.
Yeah. I think Thurman Thomas was banged up. He's up. He's walking off, but he's not walking too gingerly over there. Looked like he could be banged up a little bit.
Rich Thompson is in to do the punting. Malice is back deep. Thompson gets it off. Malice lets it go. It's going to be down on the 1-yard line. Oklahoma State downs it on the 1-yard line. So that is where Washington will start. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Turner Network Television. It was Ken Montgomery who downed the ball on the 1-yard line. So the Huskies start there. Millen is their quarterback. Motion all the way across. Giving it out to the tailback, Toy. Got a couple of yards.
Lindsey, remember in the first half, the Washington Husky defense was faced with this exact situation. They held and forced the punt out of the end zone. They got a big return, and that is the difference in this football game. Washington took it on in. Now the Oklahoma State defense has got the same opportunity to see if they can hold them and force a punt.
2nd and 7 at the 4-yard line. Touchdown. It's covered in the end zone for a touchdown.
They did better than stop him. They caused the fumble by David Toy, and they recovered it in the end zone for 6 points. And it's number 10, I think, Mike Hudson.
Mike Hudson got the football for the touchdown.
Let's take a look. Here's the pitch around the left side. David Toy is stripped of the football. 54, Ricky Adams makes a great tackle. And Mike Hudson gets the touchdown.
Look at that number 10 dig for the ball, and he got it. Conversion attempt, which if good, will tie the score, and it's good by O'Donnell. Joey O'Donnell's kick is good, and the score is tied. Huskies 17, Cowboys 17. We'll be back in just a moment.
Watch this beautiful tackle by Ricky Adams, number 54. There's the pitch to Toy. Ricky Adams really uncorks a great tackle. The ball's loose in the end zone, and Mike Hudson comes up with it for the Cowboys, and we've got a tie football game. What a tackle by Ricky Adams.
As Adams along the sideline, Joey O'Donnell is out there now to kick it for Oklahoma State. Tim Peoples is back with David Tremble to receive it. Tremble and Peoples.
Joey O'Donnell.
Taking it to the 3-yard line, return to the 5. It's Tremble. Gets all the way up to the 20 and across to the 21-yard line. The tackle is made by Robertson, so they start 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Score is tied here, 17-17 in the 3rd quarter, and the Huskies have the football.
Become very evident for Don James's boys that they miss Rick Finney. Lindsey, they miss his blocking in the running game. They also miss his running. They miss that big 6'4", 240-pound frame back there.
Hugh Millen, the quarterback for Washington. Toy gets it out there to the 27-yard line before Ricky Adams made the tackle. Gain of 6. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 yards to go. Don James with his arms folded along the sideline. One of the most highly respected coaches in the profession. His team selected to finish very, very high this year by at least one national publication picked to be the #1 college team in the nation. Meyer and Toy in the I formation. Motion all the way across by Tremble. Meyer got it up to the 29-yard line. Not enough for the first. Ricky Shaw made the tackle.
Lindsey, speaking of ties, we got one here at 17 apiece. How about this one? SMU 14. UTEP, University of Texas at El Paso. They also have 14.
Is that a final?
No, sir. They're still going on.
Progress, all right. Third down and 3 yards to go. Millen completes it for a first down. Up just short of the 40-yard line, taken by Rod Jones. First and 10.
Oh, what a great pitch to Rod Jones. I tell you, Millen, he ended up flat on his back, Lindsey. If we can roll it here, I think you're going to see a great pitch. All but play action. Watch Millen hit his tight end and watch what happens to him. Oh, we didn't really get it because the cameraman, rightfully so, went to the big tight end. But look what happens to Millen after he throws the football. Does he get popped or not from the blind side?
Let us tell you that later on Turner Network Television, we'll have highlights from the Florida versus Miami game, along with highlights from the UTEP SMU game. So stay with us. That is Pat Jones along the sideline. I can remember some years ago when you didn't see the highlights of football games until Wednesday of the week following on the newsreel at your local theater.
They don't waste any time now, do they, Lynn?
Just
right away.
Stick around, and here they come. First and 10 at the 40-yard line. Toy.
That defense.
At the 38-yard line. Lost 2.
I tell you, Thompson has been sensational today, Lindsey. The big senior, 6'4", 275 pounds. He's going to go high in the draft. He's very quick. Very quick. And with Leslie O'Neal on the other side, that really complements that great Cowboy defense.
Second and 12 now at the 38-yard line. Hill and Franklin are the wide receivers. Hugh Millen still the quarterback. Meyer and Toy in the out formation. Complete out there at the 45 to the 50 and on down to the 45-yard line. Taken by Franklin. Darrell Franklin. Stopped by Yancey. First and 10.
A 17-yard pickup, Lindsey, and watch the blitz here and watch how beautifully he gets rid of the football. Millen races right up. You see it man-to-man out there. He caught him in a blitz. That's Wendell Yancey, number 48, and he's strung out there all by himself, covering Darrell Franklin, and he didn't do too good a job of it.
In a game that is tied at 17 in the third quarter, the Washington Huskies are moving the ball first and 10 at the 45-yard line of Oklahoma State.
Okay, go ahead and go in route.
That's Trumbull in motion coming all the way across. Give it to Meyer. Meyer moves to the 39-yard line. Let's go now to the studio for highlights.
Leslie O'Neal on the stop.
A couple of Czechs came up with big wins at the U.S. Open Tennis Championship in New York. First on the women's side. Hanna Manlikova upset the top seed Martina Navratilova. The numbers were 7-6, 1-6, and 7-6. Meanwhile, on the men's side, semifinal action, the fourth seed Jimmy Connors, who suffered an ankle injury in the warm-ups, fell to second seed Yvonne Lindell in straight sets. Tomorrow he meets McEnroe.
And the first down. Mike Hudson with a tackle.
Here comes a replay off the right side. That's David Toy. They needed about 6, and he got 7 tough yards and the first down.
First and 10 now at the 31-yard line for the Huskies. 8 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Score tied, and Washington is driving. Trumbull is wide. Bo Hill is wide. Double to the left side. They move Trumbull on out toward the sideline in motion. Taken there by the tailback, and that is David Toy. David Toy gets across the 25-yard line. Picked up 6 yards on the play, second and 4.
Gain of 6 yards. Mike Hudson with a tackle.
Pat Jones, head coach at Oklahoma State there.
Second down, 4 yards to go. On the Cowboy 25.
Two tight ends, Jones and Perea. Toy just to the 25-yard line. Line of scrimmage, that's all. It's 3rd and 4. Warren Thompson in on the tackle with Ricky Adams.
David Toy been the workhorse in this sequence.
Second quarter
offense.
Southern Methodist
Millen 12 out of
University
20 now. 158 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Perea's come out of the ball game, and Mo Hill is coming to replace him. Hill is wide to the left side on a 3rd down and 4 yards to go at the Oklahoma State 25. Millen looking for a flag there.
He had the football for a minute. Interference in the end zone. Oh, good move. It was Darrell Franklin who made the move in the corner of the end zone, Lindsay, and we're going to take another look at it. But what a great pitch by Hugh Millen.
Under this year's rule now, interference in the end zone doesn't go to the 1. It's from the previous spot.
Look at this pitch. Good camera shot here. Watch me. He's in the end zone. You see number 48 again, Wendell Yancey. They're trying to take advantage of him over there, it looks like. He had a hold of the football. Yancey had his back to the whole play. Interference, 15 yards, first down.
From the previous spot, puts it at the 10-yard line. In other years, it would have been at the 1-yard line.
Against the defense, automatic first down.
So it is first down and goal to go since the ball is touching the 10-yard line.
First and goal on the Cowboy 10.
Myron Toy in the eye for Millen. Toy. The Oklahoma State defense throws him for a 4-yard loss back at the 14. Hudson made the tackle.
Now, Lindsay, Mike Hudson, who's made some key plays here for the Cowboys, he's listed as a strong safety. You know where he made that tackle? Into the backfield for a loss. The strong safety moved up like a monster back. He becomes a linebacker when he gets close to that goal line. He made a good reaction across the line of scrimmage.
Second down and goal to go. Washington's ball at the Oklahoma State 14. Meyer and Toy in the I formation. Millen. Incomplete. At the end line. Mike Hudson had a hand in there. Rod Jones was the intended receiver, number 84.
That would have been a touchdown, Lindsay, if Mike Hudson hadn't got his hand up. Little counter action against off the play action fake. Now watch number 10. Rod Jones was just about ready to make that catch. Mike Hudson deflected it.
Third down and goal to go at the 14. Score tied at 17. David Trimble's into the ball game now. Mo Hill's on the wide right. Right and across to a left set. Taken by Toy. And he got it most a yard to the 13, which will make it 4th down. Leslie O'Neal made the stop.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If they think they were going to catch Oklahoma State defensive front three up there napping, they were wrong.
Jeff Jager's got to try the field goal now.
They wanted to keep it right in the middle, just hoping that they could break the crack there, Lindsay, and move it all the way in for 6. But that kind of play is not going to work against this defense.
Jager will try a 30-yarder. It's got to be Chris Chandler holding for Jager's attempt. It's up, and the 30-yard field goal is no good. It's no good.
You're kidding.
It's no good. It's wide, and so the score remains. Washington 17, Oklahoma State 17 with 5:27 to play in the third quarter. We'll be back in a moment. This is Turner Network Television. Here are scores in the fourth quarter. Florida 28, Miami 21. North Carolina 14, Navy 7 in the third. BYU 17, UCLA 16 in the fourth. Oklahoma State first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Williams is the quarterback. As a whistle, somebody beat the snap, I think, on the far side.
Right tackle, Oklahoma State. Number 72, Paul Blair, moved. There he is. They've got the 4 biggest offensive tackles I've ever seen in one football game, Lindsay. All 4 tackles, we get the call. The 2 offensive tackles for Oklahoma go 275, and the 2 offensive tackles for Washington are over 275. They're huge.
Baylor 15, Wyoming 3 in the third quarter. Out to the 18-yard line, it was Thomas carrying. Got 3 yards on the play. Hadley made the tackle.
Thomas, the ball carrier. Gain of 3 yards.
Thomas having a much tougher time here in the second half, picking up yardage. He just ate that defense alive in the first half, but not in the second.
Second and 12 up there at the 19-yard line. Williams rolling. Completing it across the 20-yard line. Out of bounds at the 23, Bobby Riley. Incomplete.
Ruled incomplete, and Williams is hurt. Ronnie Williams is hurt. On the rollout here, Ronnie Williams gets hurt. Bobby Riley was wide open on the right side. You see him hook up. Now he's going to veer to the outside, and he just couldn't hold on to the football. He's got it. Now he does it. It's incomplete, but back in the backfield, Ronnie Williams is down.
Members of the training staff out there to see about Williams. At quarterback, his backup man is Vestee Jackson, who is a sophomore from Bonita, Oklahoma. There are Williams' stats for the day. 6 of 15, 86 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns.
Well, he's young. He's got a lot of talent. He's got the big, good, strong arm, and Pat's very, very high on him. The head coach thinks he's going to be a good quarterback.
That's the mouthpiece they're chasing down and is bouncing around.
It's all right.
It's going to be 3rd down and 12 yards to go at the 19 as Williams is coming off, and Vestee Jackson is coming on to replace it.
Vestee Jackson supposedly a very good option quarterback. He's a sophomore. Bonita, Oklahoma, 193 pounds. Good size, Lindsey. He can run.
Thomas and Timmons in the I formation.
Look at the linebackers. They're up there on a blitz. Nope.
Thomas to the 22-yard line. Brought down by Hall. Got only 3 yards out of all that. It'll be 4th down.
Well, Rusty comes in for running, hands off on the draw, and it's just good. Look running. Look at that balance by Thurman Thomas. He goes off to the right. He's going to be short. Going to have to punt it.
Rich Thompson is in to do the punting, and Ron Miles is back deep, standing at his own 40-yard line. Thompson gets it off. Miles retreats. 31-yard line. He gets to the 36. And now for highlights, let's go back to the studio.
Thank you, Lindsey. This is the ball game we were talking about a little while ago. Texas El Paso trailing SMU just before the half. But look at the screen pass to John Harvey. This game is tied at 14-all. SMU is a 42-point favorite. We'll keep you updated.
Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning here at the University of Washington. And the Huskies have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. 3 minutes, 53 seconds left to play in the third quarter of the game. The score is tied at 17. That's Toy carrying, and he got it across the 40 and on out to the 43-yard line, maybe the 44.
Good blocking that time at the point of attack for David Toy off the left side.
Yancey made the tackle. And with about 7 on the play, will make it 2nd and 3. 3.5 minutes left to play in the quarter.
We understand, Lindsey, that Ronnie Williams may have a possible broken jaw.
That's Toy carrying. And he got it out to the 47-yard line. Roberts made the tackle.
He's got the ice bag right on the left side of the jaw. He got popped when he tried to complete that pass to his receiver, Bobby Riley.
1st and 10 for Washington. They have the ball at their own 47-yard line. Toy now getting attention from the training staff. And Millen, meanwhile, has gone over for a conference with the coaching staff along the sideline during this timeout.
I tell you, Don James has got to be wondering what's happened to my running back, Rick Finney, who was highly regarded in this Husky offense. But David Toy gets up. Looks like he's all right as he goes off, Lance.
Vince Weathersby has come in now. Vince Weathersby from Los Angeles went to Dorsey High there, has come into the ball game. So it's Meyer and Weathersby, the running backs in the game now for Washington. 1st and 10, they have the ball on their own 47-yard line. Weathersby. I beg your pardon, it's Meyer. It's Meyer, the up back. The up back, Meyer, to the 49-yard line. Got 2. 2nd and 8.
Chase Ham on the stop.
Ham made the tackle. Two minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Score tied at 17.
Second down, 8 yards to go.
7 tackles today for Leslie O'Neal. He's now 10th in OSU career tackles.
Millen short drop and a pop. Completed out there across the 45-yard line. Franklin made the catch, number 7.
I tell you, Daryl Franklin's having a good day way over on the left side. Franklin beats him on a square out. And who's he beat? Wendell Yancey over there, Lindsey. They're really working on Mr. Yancey over there. And, of course, you got to take pity on a guy like that. He's always back there man-to-man. And as you well know, it's very tough to cover these speedy receivers man-to-man. They'll just eat you alive.
They had to measure as the ball was along the sideline over there, and it is a first down. So they spotted at the inbounds marker now. First down and 10 yards to go at the 43. Ben Jones getting a little mileage along the sideline. Weathersby and Meyer in that split backfield now.
Boy, Mo Hill be wide open down there again.
Millen throwing, and he's complete. Across the 30 and down to the 27-yard line to Weathersby.
They are just eating alive the Oklahoma Cowboy defensive right side over there. A 15-yard pickup. And Hugh Millen doesn't waste any time going back over to the weak spot, does he? This time he completes it to Weathersby. They got 2 men out there. That's Mo Hill trying to get a block.
First and 10 now for the Huskies, and they have the ball at the 27-yard line of Oklahoma State. Weathersby to the 26-yard line. So it'll be second down and a yard to go. I beg your pardon, it was Toy. He was back in there. Toy had come back in, and he carried it, and that is somebody down there now in need of a little help. That is Dennis Soledad.
Dennis Soledad, the big offensive left tackle. He'll be second about 8, Lindsey. I tell you, Hugh Millen, the experience that he's got in there at quarterback, he knows over on the left side they're playing awful soft over there, and they've been completing a lot of passes, especially here in the second half against Wendell Yancey. They're really going after him man-to-man, and they've beaten him alive here in the third quarter.
Soledad's going off, at least for the moment. And Weesey's going to replace him. Brett Weesey. 1 minute, 36 seconds left in the third quarter. Washington 17, Oklahoma State 17. It's on the 26-yard line. Second down and 9 yards to go. Toy and Meyer are the backs in there. There's a whistle.
Penalty flag down.
Penalty is being marked off by Jim Springer, the referee.
Dead ball, illegal procedure on the offense.
Dead ball foul.
Still second down.
Procedure against the Huskies.
Second and 14.
5 yards. Move the ball to Cowboy 31.
They have continued as we see some rain falling now. Get a little rain here in Seattle, which is normal, I guess, almost every day here usually, right? Don Heinrich, 49, 50 to 52. Former All-American quarterback, over 4,000 yards throwing the football, Lindsey. He was with the New York Giants for quite a few years.
Then was a coach for a while.
Sir does a lot of radio and TV around San Francisco.
2nd and 14 at the 31-yard line for the University of Washington.
See if they go back over there against Wendell Yancey.
Millen. Incomplete to Toy.
Hugh Millen's pass intended for David Toy, incomplete.
Washington, John Washington was the man getting to the passer just as he let it go.
We watched this Jeff Jager, their kicker for Washington, warm up. He's got a big, strong arm. In fact, he's one of the most accurate field goal kickers in college football. He missed that 30-yarder before, which is very unusual, because he was 42 out of 54 field goal attempts.
3rd and 14 at the 31 for Washington. Trimble in motion across. Millen throws a screen left. Toy has it. Goes out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
Passing to David Toy.
Adams made the tackle.
No gain.
4th down coming up. Line of scrimmage is the 31, near the 32. So Jager's coming out to attempt a field goal. The score is tied. 25 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. That's Don James, the Washington coach.
Jeff Jager will kick.
This is going to be a 49-yarder. A 49-yarder with Chandler holding. Jager boots. And this one is no good. No good. 2nd consecutive field goal attempt missed by Jager. It'll be put in play at the 20-yard line with 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter as you see Don James again.
Lindsey had plenty of leg, but we understand making somewhat of an excuse for this young man. Very accurate kicker. 42 out of 54 in his first 2 years here at Washington. Now he's missed 2 in a row. They say he's got a slightly pulled groin, and you can see his reaction there. Not too good. He pushed it to the right.
Oklahoma State with the football, 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line. Taken by Thomas. Taken by Thomas with Rankin quarterbacking. Got it out there to the 34-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. And time has run out on the clock. Time has run out in this period on the clock. So that's the end of the 3rd quarter. And the score is tied. Washington 17, Oklahoma State 17. We'll be back in just a moment.
Oklahoma State Cowboys 17.
The rain is falling steadily here now. We have a quarter to go. 2nd and 7 at the 34-yard line. Thomas with the ball. Out to the 40. Thomas 45, 50, 45. Thomas out of bounds.
What a great run.
Loaded into Washington territory.
Lindsey, he's still down over there. It looked like he was banged up early in the 2nd quarter. He's still down. And what a great play he makes here. He turns a 3-yard loss. Look, here's the draw right here. He beats the people to the outside. He got a good stiff arm there. Beats the linebacker. Then he beats Darrell Hall, the safety man. He runs over the cornerback. 182 yards now, and he's really pushed out of bounds.
He got 23 yards on that when the members of the training staff go out to see about him right away.
He's a great back, and he's holding that right arm. Pat Jones says, please, Mr. Thomas, please.
Mitch Nash has come in to replace him now. Mitch Nash, it's 1st and 10 for the Cowboys at the Washington 43-yard line. Pitch to the tailback. And the Washington defense comes in to smother him. It's Mitch Nash who's back at the 50-yard line. Loss of about 7.
Here comes Thomas. Here comes Thomas back. And they need him. He takes a little pitch on the right side. And he's going to lose about 4 yards. Thurman Thomas checks back in.
2nd and 15 as it is spotted now.
I think the whole key is going to be this quarterback, Lindsey, Rusty Rankin. He's got to perform now.
Well, he's got the ball. He completes it up the sideline. Going to be marked at the 37-yard line. Hartley Dykes was the man who made the reception. Rankin completing the pass.
That's a young man that they're going to have to pin their hopes on. We've got a tie. Ronnie Williams is out with probably a broken jaw, and Rusty Rankin now. A lot of pressure on this sophomore. He's got to operate this offense. Thurman Thomas, of course, has got a dangerous threat back there. That'll help him a lot.
3rd and 3 at the 36. 3rd and 3 for the Cowboys at the Washington 36. Thomas and Timmons are the setbacks. Thomas, 1st and 10. Thomas goes to the 29-yard line. All in to make the tackle.
I tell you, that's just great blocking at the point of attack, Lindsey. When number 34, Thurman Thomas, got to the right tackle, there was nobody there. Look at this blocking. Paul Blair, a sensational block. He cremates everybody to the inside, and then Darrell Hall is left back there man-to-man.
It's spotted at the 28-yard line. Tonight's attendance, 59,205 at Husky Stadium here on the campus of the University of Washington in Seattle. Gunnar Reddick runs into a lot of traffic up there at the 25-yard line.
Rusty Rank is keeping the ball.
Bo Yates has got the football, but it was blown dead. Pretty smart play by Rusty Rankin. He thought everybody was covered, and he didn't want to put it up for grabs, so he just took it right into the middle and picked up a couple yards.
Man still down, and members of the training staff are coming out to see about him. It is Reggie Rogers. Reggie Rogers. It takes a lot of getting up for him.
Number 64, Andy Puimaono, now in replacing Reggie Rogers.
Rogers goes off. Puimaono comes in. Puimaono to replace Rogers. 2nd down and 8 yards to go at the 26.
On the Husky 26.
Score is tied at 17. We're in the 4th quarter. Thomas got about 2, maybe 1 to the 24. It'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go. Rill made the tackle.
And it was a good tackle by Rill from the backside, Lindsey. I think Thomas would have gotten a lot more yardage out of that. 3rd down, big 3rd down now. It's a passing situation, but 3rd and 6 from here is not necessarily a passing situation when you've got a guy named Thomas.
Rusty Rankin is the quarterback. Thomas has got the football. 20, 15, 10, 9. The 9-yard line. 1st down and goal to go, and Thomas cleared the ball.
He's over 200 yards rushing on the night.
Jackson on the stop.
I tell you, he's something to watch. Out of the eye, here he comes off the right. Look at that block by the up back. Timmons makes a sensational block, and Thomas just puts, he's looking at north-south running. He's inside the 10.
Thurman Thomas having a great night. 5'11", 186-pounder sophomore from Missouri City, Texas.
206 yards rushing.
And again, down to the 5-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down and goal to go. Dominguez made the tackle.
You think this kid isn't in shape, Lindsey? That's the 32nd time he's carried the football tonight. Around the right side, and Timmons, who's doing a sensational job up front blocking for him, and those are tough yards.
Another Washington man is down, and he's getting attention from the training camp. It's Kelly. Kelly there, number 36. Joe Kelly from Los Angeles Jefferson. Great linebacker.
He's a 4-year starter here.
We have had injuries galore in this football game here tonight. All right, Florida 35, Miami 23 in the 4th quarter. UCLA 19, BYU 17 in the 4th quarter.
Big upset.
Kelly is still getting attention on the field. Look again.
Let's take another look at Kelly. Here comes Thomas off the right side. Here comes Kelly right in trying to help out. He always does. He's being stopped up front. And Kelly in on the tackle, and he gets twisted around. As you see him, he fell on his back there and twisted something.
Ball was taken to the inbounds mark and spotted at the 7. So when play is resumed, it'll be 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line as Kelly is assisted to his feet. Next TV game on Super Football Saturday, Baylor and Georgia at 12 noon Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Central next Saturday. And then our primetime game, Pittsburgh against Ohio State in Columbus, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We hope you'll join us for Super Football Saturday night.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing Keith Bars. He's got that broken foot. We don't think he'll be ready. But Ohio State, always one of the perennial powers in college football. What a great matchup. Pittsburgh and the Buckeyes.
Kelly goes out of the ball game, and Erlinson comes in to replace him at linebacker now. The score is tied. 11 minutes, 51 seconds left to play in the game. Oklahoma State driving.
The Cowboys got 206 yards rushing, all by Thurman Thomas.
Rankin is the quarterback. Thomas is the tailback here at the 7. Thomas to the 6-yard line. 3rd down and goal at the 6.
No gain.
That's Kelly along the sideline getting it down now. Bo Yates made the last tackle.
This Husky defense will make you pay for it. Close to that goal line. There's the stats of Thurman Thomas. 209 yards, 1 touchdown.
Score is tied at 17. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Turner Network Television. Don James looks on. This crowd is alive. 3rd and goal at the 6-yard line. Score tied at 17. Oklahoma State with the football. Thomas is the tailback. Rankin the quarterback. Thomas with the ball. Thomas and the defense of Washington pushes him out.
It's a touchdown to Bobby Riley, Lindsey. He threw the option pass.
He did. He got rid of it for the touchdown.
That's the 3rd touchdown pass for this young man. He threw 2 touchdowns last year off the option. The whole offensive team came over and talked to Pat Jones. And watch this. Here's the pitch. He makes it look like a run. There's number 1. He slips free in the end zone. He pulls it up at just a basketball. Let me get it in there anyhow. And it's a good catch. And it's 6-point touchdown pass for Thurman Thomas.
Conversion attempt coming now by O'Donnell. It is up, and it's good. And so now Oklahoma State has taken a 7-point lead. They lead in this ball game by 7. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is Bobby Riley, number 1. He catches the option pass from Thurman Thomas. Last year, Thomas threw 2 option passes. He completed them both for touchdowns. And you see Riley on an ISO. He just gets into the end zone. Thurman Thomas just floats the ball in there for 6 points. There's Pat Jones on the sidelines, and you can see he says, I knew it'd work.
O'Donnell's going to pick it off now for Oklahoma State, and Trimble is back there with Franklin. It's taken at the 11-yard line, returned to the 15, out to the 20, and Trimble gets it to the 25-yard line. They'll start 1st and 10 there. Tackle was made by Robinson. We have a report that Kelly has a sprained ankle. The report on Kelly is a sprained ankle.
Kelly's got a bad sprain, and of course, the Rick Fenny, they lost their big fullback with a badly sprained ankle.
Penalty marker. And a personal foul has been called against the Cowboys. So that's going to move the ball upfield for Washington and give them a 1st down at the 41-yard line.
Those stupid penalties that the coaches hate, and it gives
Dead
Hugh
ball.
Millen.
Personal foul, spearing against the defense. 1st down.
Don James, arms folded. Toy and Meyer are the setbacks for quarterback Millen.
Got good field position too, Lindsey, with that spearing penalty.
Toy gets it out to the 44-yard line. And Ricky Adams made the tackle. The clock is running. That's time remaining in the football game.
Keep in mind, Hugh Millen has never lost as a starter for the University of Washington. If they should happen to score a touchdown, Lindsey, Don James has got the opportunity, of course, to go for those 2 points.
2nd and 8 at the 44-yard line. Millen, number 12.
See if he goes upstairs against Wendell Yancey over here on the left side.
Incomplete. Up at about the 47-yard line. Adams got a hand on it to bat it.
Almost got the interception, too. Ricky Adams, what a game he's been on the inside. You see he's one of the inside linebackers here. He's keying on the tight end. He does a little hook pass, and watch the reaction. Ricky Adams almost comes up with the interception.
Third down and 8 yards to go. Washington with the ball at their own 44-yard line.
7 yards to go on
The Cowboys are leading 24-17. We're in the fourth quarter. Millen. He bounced it up there.
Hugh Millen's pass.
Trying to get it to Lontel Hill.
He was collared, Lindsey, back there. Somebody had a piece of his jersey from the backside.
Thompson, I think.
Forced Millen upstairs and to throw it incomplete.
Punting unit comes on now. Thane Cleland's in to do the punting.
Oh, that Thompson's been all over the field. It seems like every time we look up, Lindsey, you're mentioning Thompson.
Bobby Riley
Bobby Riley deep.
is back there deep. Cleland gets it off.
Beauty. Into the end zone.
So it'll be brought out and put in play. First and 10 at the 20 on the touchback. As a 7-point lead is on the board for the Cowboys. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Turner Network Television.
Lindsey.
A little wildlife on the wing. Canadian geese, we're told. First and 10 at the 20 now for Oklahoma State. Thomas has the football. Thomas to the outside. 5 yards he's picked up. Almost 10. Maybe he did get 10. He went out of bounds as Paul and Miles ran him out over there.
Lindsey, move over, Bo Jackson. Move over, Keith Byers. Kenny Davis, all of you take notice. This young sophomore, he wants into the hunt. I'll tell you, Thurman Thomas, sensational opener for Oklahoma State. 219 yards, 34 carries.
Second down and 1 yard to go. Ball is just in advance of the 29-yard line. The clock is running with 9 minutes, 50 seconds left to play in the game. Oklahoma State 24 and the Huskies 17. Total yards here. Whistle before the snap. Could be delay.
I'm watching Thomas. He's limping. He's going back into the backfield. He's not coming out. He's banged up a little bit. I think he's hurt his right on the right side. He looks like he's limping. Let's check out this penalty. He's got to come out. Yep, but he's running. He's okay, but he's not 100%.
Mitch Nash is going to replace him.
Dead ball foul.
Dead ball foul. Disconcerting signals. 5 yards.
Disconcerting signals. That is signals by the defense to try to confuse the offense.
Absolutely. It's calling him when the quarterback's calling his signals, and it's disrupting, and it's not courteous.
And it cost you 15 yards.
Rusty Rank has done a pretty good job coming in, Lindsey, from Ronnie Williams. No mistakes, and he's handling this offense well.
5 yards, I beg your pardon. Well, it's taken there by Timmons. And he stumbled up to the 42-yard line.
And we get an update on the score. You won't believe this. University of Texas El Paso, UTEP, is leading SMU third quarter 17-14.
Right here, the Cowboys are leading the Huskies 24-17. Ball at the 42-yard line. 2nd and 3. Thomas has got the ball. This time he just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
There's a flag down, Lindsey. They know it's coming. Defensively, it's a lot of pressure right now. The Huskies got to get that football back. Check out the penalty holding
against Oklahoma State. There was no gain on the play, so they have an option here.
Well, they should take it. They want to force this young quarterback to throw the football is what they can. 34 is back in, Thurman Thomas.
Ball is spotted at the 32-yard line on the 10-yard penalty.
Not necessarily a passing down now, Lindsey, even though it's...
Holding 10 yards against the offense. Still second down.
Still second down. They need about 12. They need to run that clock, and the clock's running, and they love it.
Second down, 13 yards to go at the 32. Thomas and Timmons are the backs, the running backs. Thomas got to the 34-yard line, closer to the 35. Tim Peoples made the tackle. It's going to be 3rd and about 10.
Yeah, still not necessarily a passing down, but they've got pretty good field position here as Thomas comes back. Boy, what a workhorse.
Clock just keeps right on running.
The 7-point lead. Do you risk it putting it up into the air? This kid hasn't thrown a pass yet, has he?
Sophomore Rankin is the quarterback. Splits the running backs.
I think they're going to throw.
Rankin with the ball. Completes it.
Short.
Up to the 40. Not enough for the first down. It'll bring up a fourth down. Fourth and about 5.
Put it to his
Dillard
big,
with the man who made the catch.
Put it to his big tight end, Lindsey. And I don't think that's too good a play call here. They needed 10. If you're going to throw the football, let's go downfield and try to pick up the first down. He got it to his tight end. You see he's double covered over there. Bo Yates in on the stop.
Rich Thompson in to do the punting now. Milas is back deep for Washington. Huskies want the football. They trail by 7 in the fourth quarter.
Can Milas do it again? Another good return.
Thompson gets it off. Milas at the 23. This time he is smothered. Going to be spotted at the 22-yard line. 37-yard kick, a -1 return. Pat Jones, head coach at Oklahoma State. His team is leading here in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes, 7 seconds to play. There is the clock. Ball is at the 22-yard line. Washington has it.
And Millen's got to throw the football. He's got to really move it upstairs, Lindsey. He's got his receivers, Mo Hill, Trimble. He's going to throw the football now.
Toy and Meyer in the I formation. Millen waits for the snap. Short drop. Pumps it complete. Out to the 28-yard line.
Against who? Wendell Yancey over there.
Taken by Franklin.
But of course, he's giving him that, Lindsey. It's a little hitch pattern over there. Linebacker almost got his hand on the ball. A man playing up short.
They got 6 at 2nd and 4.
Second down, 4 yards to go for the
clock keeps running.
28.
Oklahoma State 24, Washington 17. Passed out into the flat. Taken by Toy. Toy's got the 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line, maybe the 37.
A little slow developing screen on the right side. He picked up some blocks. That almost was a lateral here. Would have been a live football. You could see Millen. There goes the lineman. You see him running out to the right. Here's your screen out to the right side. Now watch Toy cut back. One linebacker falls down. He's got the first down.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. On James from the sideline. Millen with the ball. On the right side complete. Across the 35 and up to the 40. David Toy. Toy picked up speed to the 40-yard line, make it 2nd and 7.
Well, they're just hoping that Toy is going to use that great speed and break it back against the grain and come up with the big play.
Now let's go back to the studio for an update.
BYU has won 25 games in a row, but that winning streak on the line. Robbie Bosco fights for the end zone. The second effort, he barely gets in. At that point, BYU is on top, but UCLA has come back to score. Back to Paul and Lindsay.
2nd down and 7 yards to go at the 40. Millen rolling.
There it is.
It's intercepted at the 50, to the 40, to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. Mark Moore from Nacogdoches, Texas. Intercepted, ran it back 50 yards for a touchdown.
Well, the defense back there knew they were going to throw the football. Mark Moore, who's made some sensational plays back there from his weak safety position. He was just playing center field back there, Lindsey, and he read the quarterback beautifully. It was a little rollout to his side, and what an interception. Just breaks the game wide open. Pat Jones on the sidelines, pretty happy.
O'Donnell is attempting the conversion. O'Donnell is kicking and is good. And that makes it Oklahoma State 31, Washington 17. 5 minutes, 14 seconds remaining to be played in the game, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Well, Millen, 7 points down, little roll out left. And watch Mark Moore, the junior from Nacogdoches, Texas. Watch this interception. And you think this young man doesn't know how to get into the end zone. He returned 2 last year for touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Watch this move at the 5. Whoop. Nice hurdle move, and he gets into the end zone, 49 yards. Here's another look. He's trying to drill it in there, and Mark Moore read it perfectly. Makes the easy interception. 49 yards. He makes a good hurdle about the 5-yard line. He goes in for his 3rd touchdown run back this career.
So now the kickoff will be by O'Donnell, and it's going to be Tim Peebles and David Trumbull deep. Taken at the 16-yard line and returned across the 25 and up to the 29-yard line by Trumbull. All of the points scored by Oklahoma State this half have come on defense.
Absolutely, and that's been the difference. That punt that rolled dead at the 1-yard line, and then Ricky Adams, fantastic tackle. They fumbled the football into the end zone. Toy coughed it up. Oklahoma State recovered for that touchdown, and then this interception. That's the difference, Linz.
First down and 10 yards to go. Ball is at the 29-yard line. Millen with the ball. Up to the 50-yard line. All the way up to the 50-yard line. David Trumbull.
Good juggling catch by David Trumbull. Kept his concentration on the football. Good pitch by Millen. He's going to throw it almost every time now. Watch this beautiful concentration. Up. He's got it. First down up the midfield.
4 minutes, 57 seconds left on that clock. Ball is marked ready for play now by the referee, Jim Springer. Hugh Millen, the quarterback. Again, Millen hit his target up at the 41, 42-yard line. It is Mo Hill, and the tackle is made by Ricky Adams.
Well, he had to come back for the football. He didn't get the first down, so the clock will continue to run. Just a little shy of first down yardage.
There is the clock running. It's time remaining in the game. Second down and a yard to go.
Speed on the right side, Hill and Franklin.
Millen. Incomplete. It was intended for Franklin.
He got hammered again, this time again by John Washington, who's had another outstanding game. Watch Millen, hangs right in that pocket. A lot of boy, he just hangs right in there, Lindsey. And look at number 80, John Washington from the blind side, put him right down.
Third down and a yard to go.
At the Cowboy 40.
Hugh Millen brings up the Washington Huskies. Give it to his tailback who gets the yard for the first down. That's David Toy. Toy got the first. That stops the clock till they move the chain.
They got to have a play call. It's got to be an automatic real quick because they want to run against that clock as best they can here. Now it's running.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line. Hugh Millen. Completed. Down at the 23-yard line. Taken there by Franklin. Franklin at the 23.
Against our old friend over there, Wendell Yancey. I don't mean to belabor a point over here, but Mr. Yancey's playing awful soft over there, protecting a 14-point lead. And you see Hugh Millen coming back, and he hits Darrell Franklin over there.
13 yards in the first down.
I tell you, he's done a good job, Lindsey. Every time he's thrown the football, he's been on his back almost the whole night. Millen.
First down and 10 yards to go at the 23. Millen again. Reading it out into the flat, and it's advanced up there to about the 17-yard line. Taken by Weesey. Weesey is the man who gathered it in when it was batted up there.
His arm was going forward. He was hit from behind. Legal receiver. He's an offensive tackle, and that's a no-no.
So the penalty is going to be against Washington.
Lindsey, Hugh Millen is 20 out of 34 tonight for 234 yards. And I'll guarantee you, 10 out of those 30 passes, he's been flat on his back after he's released the football.
Clock says 3 minutes, 29 seconds left in the game.
Illegal touching against the offense. 5 yards, loss of down, second down.
Here it is again. You watch when he comes forward with the football, he gets hit. He's hanging in there trying to find somebody open. That's Leslie O'Neal. Weesey comes up with a completed pass. That's just a normal reaction.
2nd and 15 at the 28. And it's taken down there by David Toy. He slipped down. And it'll be spotted at the 30-yard line. Make it 3rd down. And 16 yards to go. Clock is running, 2:50 left to play. Oklahoma State leading 31-17. Millen batted down at the goal line. And it was Williams who batted it down. That'll bring up a 4th down. Hill was the intended receiver.
Demise Williams on the outside. He's just standing back there waiting. Those defensive secondary men, Lindsay, are just way back. They know he's going to have to go into the end zone or close to it.
4th down coming up here. 16 yards to go.
Secondary men love to play pass defense right here. Interception ratio is high.
It is batted and intercepted at the 5 on the batting to the 30. Penalty marker thrown.
Guess who? It's Mark Moore again, Linz.
It is. It is Mark Moore. He finally goes out of bounds across the 50-yard line down at the 47-yard line of Washington.
Well, I was saying, when you're playing pass defense, when you're 2 touchdowns ahead, you know they're going to throw it, and they got to throw it deep, and the interception ratio is very high in this situation, and Mark Moore comes up with his 2nd interception.
There was a penalty marker thrown on the return.
Probably clipping. It is again, a little deflection. Good reaction to the football for Mr. Moore. 2nd one tonight.
He's going to put the ball back about the 10-yard line.
Clipping during the run back, half the distance to the goal line, 1st down 10.
Oklahoma State with the ball, 1st and 10 at their 10. They're leading by a score of 31-17. 2 minutes, 19 seconds left to play in the game. Rankin still quarterbacking Oklahoma State.
Don James not too happy over there on the sidelines.
Thomas and Timmons are in the eye. Thomas gets out of bounds up there about the 20-yard line. Darrell Hall right about.
I think he wants to get out of bounds, Lindsay, so he can run the football more. He knows if he stays in bounds, he's going to run out the clock. And he said, I need some more carries. How many carries? He's got 36 carries, 232 yards unofficial. Wow.
There are the turnovers. Washington 4, Oklahoma State 2. They're over there checking for the possible 1st down on that last carry by Thomas. Haven't decided yet whether it is or whether it isn't.
I tell you, he's got these yards against a tough Washington Husky defense that always ranks near the top defensively. Don James defenses do not get torn up by a running back like this.
It is not a 1st down. They're using the chain to spot the ball at the inbounds marker, and it'll be 2nd down and less than a yard to go. Don James. Two minutes, 15 seconds left to play. 31-17. Rankin just took the ball.
And I tell you, Rusty Rankin has done an exceptional job tonight. Look at this stat, rushing yards. 229 yards rushing. Washington, 91 yards.
1st and 10.
That was...
Timeout is taken now. We have 2:12 left to play. Oklahoma State leading 31-17. We'll be back in just a moment. Oklahoma State has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line now. Rankin is still the quarterback. Gives it to Thomas, and he gets it up there to the 24-yard line. Our thanks to statistician Elvin Lindblad and spotter Bill Friel, and to Oklahoma State SID Pat Quinn and his staff, to Washington SID Chuck Niemeyer and his staff, to Director of Athletics Myron Roderick, Coach Pat Jones and their staffs of Oklahoma State, and Director of Athletics Mike Lude, Coach Don James and their staffs of Washington. The executive producer for TBS Sports is Don Ellis. Tonight's game has been produced by Michael Lardner, directed by Tom Smith. Technical Director Mark Johnson, Associate Producer George Smith, and Associate Director Gary Lehman. And our thanks to all the other people who have made this telecast possible here.
Don't forget Ann Keith. She gets me here. I don't know how, but she takes care of all my transportation. I got to say thanks to her. She gets me here on time.
Did you stay in this country all week?
Yes. No, I took a ride up to Vancouver. Boys, it's pretty up there. It's about a 3-hour drive from here.
Thought you might. I'll be meeting you in Columbus, Ohio next weekend. Pittsburgh and Ohio State. Thomas has 236 yards, the 5th best in OSU history.
UCLA won. Beat Brigham Young. We don't know the score, but officially they just won.
Thomas carried again.
He's unreal. Thurman Thomas, folks. Going to hear a lot about him the next 3 years.
That is real getting up.
I tell you, doesn't he? He just reminds you a little of Walter Payton, the way he runs the football. Tough kid. Loves to run north-south.
1:59 left on the clock remaining to be played in this game. With Oklahoma State leading the University of Washington 31-17.
And Don James, of course, next opponent is Brigham Young at Brigham Young. So those two teams will be coming off losses facing each other. Look at that. 38 rushes, 235 yards. If you're wondering what their one-game record is, it's against Kansas State. It's Ernest Anderson. He had 270 yards for Oklahoma State. What a game, and what a nice job Rusty Rankin's done filling in for Ronnie Williams when he broke his jaw. There's Terry Miller, one of the great running backs of Ohio State, from 74 to 77, went on to be a great pro.
Even Oklahoma State.
That's right, Oklahoma State. 4,700 yards rushing. What did I say?
3rd down and 6 yards to go here. Again, it's the same man carrying. Thurman Thomas. Got it up there to the 33-yard line. There are the whistles again. Peebles was in there on the stop.
Tim Peebles on the stop.
Sensational. The only thing you can say about this kid. Lindsey, only a sophomore. Had a sensational freshman year. Most recruited back out of Texas. Oklahoma State got him. And they've got a meal ticket for the next couple of years, I'll tell you that.
1st down and 10 yards to go. It's at the 33, and we have 1 minute, 33 seconds remaining to be played in this game. The Cowboys leading 31-17.
Well, it's only on your shoulder right now.
There is the whistle.
Final, UCLA 27, Brigham Young 24.
Dead ball. Delay of the game.
Delay of game against the Cowboys. 5 yards.
So that'll be 1st and 15 now, as it goes back to the 28-yard line. 1 minute, 27 seconds to play in the game. It will start, the clock will start on the snap. Oh, Thomas, and he was hit just as he got the ball. Boy, oh boy. Fuumuano was the man who hit him.
Floyd Milano says, don't rub it in our noses, pal. He really gives him a pop. He's going to lose a few yards here out of the eye. He's coming up, and as soon as he gets the football, he gets popped. He's going to lose about 4.
2nd and 19 at the 24-yard line. Clock is running with 55 seconds left.
You think they just want to give this kid a little yardage or leave him in, run the
They're going to hit the
every
deck
time.
here now.
Yeah.
Just to the quarterback, and he hits the deck to let the clock run. And it's running. Took a loss there, a couple of yards back to the 22. Looking 3rd and 12. Don James, it's been a disappointing day for him and Knight.
He'll get his wins this year. Don't worry about that,
he
right?
He always does. He lost only 1 last year. That was to Southern Cal. Oklahoma State lost only 2 to Oklahoma and Nebraska. The quarterback will take it and hit the deck, and that'll be it. 22-second show. Quarterback takes it, and now they'll let it run out. That will have been The last play of the football game when it gets down to 0.
And as that runs down, Lindsey, just let me say that, of course, he got 200 yards rushing. No back has that good a day unless those people up front aren't doing the job. And what a great job the offensive line for Oklahoma State did blocking.
And the final score is Oklahoma State 31, Washington 17. We'll be back in just a moment. This is Turner Network Television.